hurrying up and doing it really quick because I feel all right at the moment. So I've been really wanting to smell these fragrances by Freddie Albrighton. I bought the samples a little while ago, and I bought them. They arrived a few days ago, and I have been eager, very, very eager to try them. But oh hey Rich is here. But I haven't been very well. So hey Tony, nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. I haven't been very well. I'm on antibiotics. I started taking them not yesterday, the day before. Thank you. I think it's just the lighting. The lighting's a bit weird in the conservatory at the moment. Thanks, Rich. Yeah, so I am on these antibiotics. I've only got 3 days worth to take, but I didn't realise. I went for a walk 2 days ago. I took my first one. Hey John, took my first antibiotic, and then I went for a walk with Sam, and I was feeling really dizzy, weak. My head was hurting. I was getting pains in my ribs. Basically getting and my kidney area. I was basically getting all my symptoms all at once. And I thought I was getting worse. So then I realised, I thought, hang on, maybe it's the antibiotics. And it does seem to be. And looking at the side effects, it causes nausea and all sorts of stuff. So not that pleasant. The last few days, let's drop this a little bit. Last couple of days. Oh, how's that? Here we go. Yeah, hasn't been great. I've been on the sofa all day. But I think the antibiotics worn off, so I need to take another, but I'm going to wait till dinner because I think if you eat and take it, it's better. So that's the plan. But yeah, I've had this pain in my side all day, and you just feel kind of like tired and weak and dizzy. Like, yeah, so I'm hoping that they're working and that it's worth the pain. But I've only got 2 more to take, one tonight, which I'm delaying, and then one tomorrow morning, and then I'm done. I've done the course, so we shall see how I do after that. But I thought I'd jump on now while I feel okay, because I really want to talk about these perfumes from Freddie Albrighton. So I purchased them myself. I ordered them because they were out of stock, and I actually got in touch with Freddie to find out when they're coming back in stock. He said, very soon, I'll be announcing it on my Instagram. And so as soon as I saw he had announced it, I went online and ordered them. John says you got a tasty Sunday dinner cooking. Are you asking me? Sam's cooking a chicken, so I don't know what we're having with it. With Sam, it's usually waffles, waffles with everything, so probably chicken and waffles, but I'm most grateful. I've got nothing. I haven't been shopping for ages. House is getting a bit messy. I just haven't had the energy to do anything, which is quite horrendous, but now I've got a little bit of energy. I've actually cleaned my kitchen, yay, and I'm going to do this. So Freddie Albrighton, I don't know if any of you know or remember Freddie. Maybe Rich does because you've been in Fredcom a long time. John, keep him. I'm planning to keep him, John, definitely. Although I think Drillbit might want a bit of him. He might want me to share. Yeah, does any of you remember Freddie from his blogging days way back when? Like when I first got into fragrances, Freddie was one of the first people that I used to watch. He had a written blog and also YouTube, and I really enjoyed his very eclectic taste. Really got into the indie brands. He went out and met Vero Kern, who sadly has now passed away, but Vero Kern had a lovely range of perfumes, and also Andy Tower. And he actually went and met them, and yeah, I absolutely loved his videos. I think he's taken them all down. He's a tattooist. He has amazing tattoos, and he does amazing tattoos. And yeah, he's quite funny as well. So I've always been a fan of Freddie, whether it's to do with his artwork and tattoos, or his reviewing of fragrances. And so when I didn't try the Du Loir that he did as a collaboration, but when he was releasing his own perfumes, I thought I've got to try them. They sound mental, but there's one that sounds like I might like it, but it could depend on how amped up. There's a couple of notes that I'm a bit iffy about. So I don't know if I'm going to love these. I was just really fascinated to try them and see what Freddie's been up to. Rich Mitch, yeah, it says takes me back. Yeah, so you remember him then. Time to Musk Up. Hello Claire, hope you're doing well. Thank you, Time to Musk Up. John says before my time. Danny says, hello Claire, hope you're feeling better. Thanks Danny, I'm feeling okay at the moment, which is why I'm just quickly jumping on. I can't be too long because I need to be around Sam's for 7:30. But I have having a good moment, so we're taking advantage of that. I have still got a little bit of a pain in my side, which is, I'm just trying to figure out how to open this up. Maybe here. Here we go, look, right, so you can tell that I have not tried these because that needed to be ripped open. And now it's testing my strength. Here we go. Right, so we've got a little card in here, and it's got the ingredients, not the notes, for the perfumes. There's Bernadette Margaret, Evelyn, Teresa, Boys, and Mabel's Tooth. So there's 3 perfumes, and let's move that out of the way. And here they are, very nice labels on them, nice and clear. I like that. Do you know what? When you get samples, it's so nice if you can see what they are without having to strain your eyes and or do all of that. So we've got 3 here. I'm going to do them on paper first, and then if I like any of them, I'll pop them on my skin. I am completely clean, fresh out the shower. Hey Brandon, good to see you. So I know what my favourite the notes. The one that sounds like it's going to be my favourite is Boys, because it's got violet. So that I'm going to save till last. So we'll save the favourite till last. So we're going to start with Bernadette Margaret, Evelyn, Teresa. I think this is the one based on his mum and his memories of his mum and the perfumes that his mum wore. I could be wrong because I don't know if that's completely clean. I did watch a few. He's got videos, little videos on Instagram where he discusses the perfumes, what's in them, what they smell like, and what the inspiration behind them is. But I can't remember what's what now because I watched them a few days ago. So we're going to go on with this one, Bernadette Margaret, Evelyn, Teresa. Let's go and see. So as I said earlier, the note listings for all of them they all sound like they wouldn't necessarily be 100% my cup of tea, but I was just really, really curious to see what Freddie's done. And there's one that could be my cup of tea depending on the amplification of a couple of notes that I might find tricky. So let's have a see then. What do I get from this? Ooh, that's nice. It's reminding me of, hey Elaine, it's reminding me of the work that Amanda Beadle does, more the Chez Noir and the Hibou, if you know those. So it's kind of like a very bright floral. I would say there's a bit of ISOE Super in the mix, or Timber Max. Is it Timber Max? I've forgotten what it's called. Timber Silk. See, my brain's not working properly, but it smells like there's some of that similar to ISOE Super-y type thing in there, but it's not like that's. It just feels like it's in there, but it's more about musky florals and citruses. I don't have the notes. I can look them up because how on earth am I going to describe this? It's possibly, if I guess on the florals, it's not mellow, so it's not like rosy and smooth and mellow. It's more like a jasmine kind of floral, I would say. Fragrantica. If anyone fancies looking up the notes, you'll be helping me out a little bit. But for now, I'm going to try and find them. Where's the search bar? Oh, I can't see the search bar. Fragrantica. Right, what's it called? Evelyn Margaret. It's a list of different names. Evelyn. Here we go. Right, Bernadette Margaret, Evelyn Teresa. Here we go, here we go. So this is, it's described as, Fragrantica's main accords is warm, spicy and woody. And it's an amber floral. And it's cedar, patchouli, apricot, frangipani, carnation, clove, cinnamon, nutmeg, amber and musk. Yes, I think that apricot is giving it this fruit, this fruit. It definitely feels kind of like fruity, that kind of fruit, stone fruit. Lizzie Bean says, don't forget to like Claire's video, everyone. Thanks, Lizzie Bean. Hit the like button. Yeah, why not? So yeah, this is it is warm, spicy, but it's also fresh, spicy at the same time. And I think that's maybe the brightness of the fruitiness, the brightness of the florals. The neighbours are having a party. Sounds like they're singing along. Yay! So yeah, definitely musky, woody, floral, fruity. Something a touch sour as well, not in a bad way. Probably better on skin, but that one is Bernadette Margaret Evening Teresa. That's quite the mouthful. Let me know if you like a mouthful. So we're going to move on to the next one, which is Mabel's Tooth. So I think we'll get that one loading up on here. Mabel's Tooth. I mean, what a name. I can't remember what this one's, the inspiration behind it. A fragrance called Mabel's Tooth. But if you go on Freddie's Instagram and have a look at his videos, he talks about all of them. And right, let's spray it first before I see what it's actually note listing wise. I do like to challenge my nose, but I'm not really on form at the moment, so you'll have to bear with me because I'm a bit lackluster. Time to musk up more amberwoods. Can't stand that note. It's hang on, that hurt. Let's try with this arm. It's more I don't think it's anything like Amber Max or Amber Extreme, which are really unpleasant, well, in my opinion, unpleasant, screechy, dry, woodsy notes. Yeah, to me it's Lizzie Bean, what are you doing that for? Thank you, darling, that's really sweet. Yeah, it's just really, for me, it's kind of like, it is a nice supery kind of thing. That's probably giving it the cedar note. There's probably cedar in there as well, but I can just kind of pick up on that. And this, like, it's not exactly syrupy, but slightly syrupy, fruity apricot thing. So that's we've just gone back to Bernadette Margaret Evening Teresa, and this is Mabel's Tooth. Let's actually smell it. Oh, this is nice. This is sweeter, more mellow. What can I get from it? It's got a woodsy note as well. It's warm, kind of teetering towards gourmand. Not exactly biscuity, but almost biscuity. There's a little bit of sugar in here, I think. But a fruity, it feels like there might be the apricot note that was in the other one in here. Maybe. We'll find out in a minute. but there's also a slightly green hint to it. It's a Mabel's tooth, as in like a lady called Mabel. You know Aunt Mabel left it in the mangle. Do you know that song? There once was a house on fire. Oh, what was it? There once was a house on... Now, I was walking down the street one day when I saw an house on fire, and there was a lady shouting and screaming from the second floor window, for she was so afraid. Jump, you fucker, jump. Jump into this here blanket what we are holding. So she jumped, hit the deck, broke her fucking neck. There was no blanket. Laugh, we nearly shat. I have not laughed so much since Grandma died, or Aunt Mabel caught her left it in the mangle. Sorry, it was a bit protracted, but we got there. Aunt Mabel. Sorry. It's a Southern nursery rhyme. I think it's Pete and Dud. Classic. Elaine, liking the about you in the description box. Thanks, Elaine. Yeah, I thought I'd just fluff it up a little bit. Give people an idea, because sometimes it helps to know someone's taste if they've just come along for the first time. So, right, so I've got a syrupy sweetness, sort of an apricot fruitiness, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of woods, and something almost clove-like or medicinal. I'm thinking medicinal, almost like germally, you know, the pink stuff. Let's have a look. Coffee, tobacco, okay. Coffee, tobacco, toffee, hazelnut, immortelle, musk, aldehydes, dried fruits, honey and cedar. So none of my guesses were were quite right, but it does, yeah, it has got that, and it's got toffee, which kind of is sugar after all, isn't it? Immortelle, now I know it's there. Immortelle, yeah, you can tell it's here. Not in a massive dose, but Immortelle gives almost like a maple syrup like feel, so it could be called Maple's tooth. Immortelle has two very different facets in the same note, so it can smell somewhat curry-like and also a bit like maple syrup, all together, all rolled into one note. And in here, and that it's the curry aspect can be kind of dry and almost like a curry leaf, rather than smelling like a cooking curry with with everything in it. More like a curry leaf to me, anyway. This is and the curry leaf aspect isn't too strong at all. It's more of like a dry. Imagine you got maple syrup and you powdered it, like you let it dry out and then turn into a powder. So it's kind of like a dry powdery. You got sweetness. I don't particularly pick up on coffee. I can see tobacco now. I know tobacco's there. I can see it. Yeah, but it's not one of those really overly sweet tobaccos. Like, you know, I find a lot of tobacco dominant fragrances quite cloying. I struggle with it. Yeah, so I mean, if you like Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, you've got tobacco and dried fruits in here. But it's like it's a lighter option. Yeah, so that's nice. I mean, I don't know if I would wear. Well, I will try it on skin. Let's do it now because, yeah, I'll try it on skin. I don't know if it's something I would normally wear, but I was already aware that I was probably not going to love this, simply because dried fruits can be a problem for me. Immortelle can be a problem. Tobacco can be a problem. I loved the sound of toffee, coffee, musk, and I can be okay with aldehydes, depends what kind they are, but this doesn't smell particularly. Oh, it's nice it's different on skin. I tell you what, that is really different on skin. I can smell the coffee straight away. Yeah, coffee and kind of like sharpish fruits, very difficult for me to describe. Let's go back to your comments. Elaine says, I like powdery. Oh, Joe's here. Hey, Joe. Toffee, syrup and honey, sounding fab. Douche Four's here. Douche Four. Dash Hour is here. And Tony says the melody sounded a little bit like my old man's dustman. He wears a dustman's hat. Yeah, I probably did a little bit. Shavafon's here, says, great new Sebastian video today. Have you seen Trying to Understand Those Who Stop By Him When Their Collection Is Only 1,500 Bottles? I'll watch that one next at Shavafon. Yeah. Oh, this is way different on skin. So really, I'm going to go straight on skin with the other one. But this one, Mabel's Tooth, it's almost got a dirty facet to it, like a touch of civet. Now, there's no civet listed, but to me, I would have guessed if I didn't have the note listing, I would have guessed there's a bit of civet in the mix. And it's got something else. I'm trying to think what it's reminding me of something ever so slightly. It's got it does have a sourness to it. And it's really interesting, but I would have totally, if you said to me, Claire, you can guess one note and one note only that you're really confident is in this perfume, I think I would have said civet. Now, on skin, not on paper, but on skin. Something a bit dirty in there. Reminds me maybe of the dirty note in Jungle Jezebel from Miguel Matos and House of Sarah Baker. So that is really interesting. I would say if you like an animalic touch in your perfumes, but with sweet and really fun, interesting other stuff, then you might like that one. Now we're gonna do boys, and I'm going straight on my skin because I don't think it's fair to talk about them on paper, because it's clear to me now that the difference is quite huge. So boys is the one with violet in it. So, Lizzie, have you seen these, or have you heard these or looked them up? Because obviously I know you like your violet as well. Right, here we go. We'll just do a couple of tiny little sprays to start with, because I am scared, because I know that there's a leather and a rubber note in here. They're the two notes I might struggle with. But it's also supposed to be sweet, lots of violet, fun. So far, yes, I like it. John says maybe the honey being a little naughty. Yeah, it could be. Honey can go a little bit pissy. It's not quite as naughty as it was now. It's changing. The Mabel's Tooth. It's definitely a dried fruits, sweet, unctuous fragrance now. It's got, but it does have a little, underneath it feels like it does have something like civet, something naughty. So back to boys. Yes, so this is, it's almost like Parma violets, maybe a little bit of chewing gum, or no, not chewing gum, that would be minty, a little bit of bubble gum, and a packet of unsmoked cigarettes, and some musk, some warm skin. It's balanced with some light woods, almost like a chalkiness, like chalk dust. Yeah, we've got some chalk dust. Not so much bubble gum, more about violet, Parma violets. Lizzie says, I've not seen these before, Claire Bear. Okay, definitely very interesting. You may find this too chalky because you didn't really like the Poupre d'Automne, which you said was a little chalky for you. And I think I quite like things when they're chalky. Yeah. This for me is chalky, Not too sweet. It's sweet. The violet is sweet, but it doesn't feel like it's too much added sugar. You know, I don't really pick up on a big candy floss type note. There's something else coming in. How do I explain it? I'll tell you what, we'll look up the notes and then we'll and then I should really get going because I'm going to be late. Boys, here we go. Come on, here we go. Just looking it up now. Right, we've got violet, musk, raspberry, strawberry, milk, vanilla, leather and latex. I think the fruit, so the raspberry and the strawberry, aren't big. They are kind of blending in with the violet and just giving it that touch of fruitiness, but don't expect to smell specifically a strawberry note. So strawberry notes in perfume are often quite overly sweet. A strawberry has to come from a synthetic, and oftentimes when you smell strawberry in perfumes, for me, from my point of view, it can smell synthetically sweet. I don't always enjoy it, but in here the fruitiness is, and it's a strawberry and raspberry, and I would say I pick out more raspberry than I do strawberry, but really it just is like a little bit of a red berry tone blended in with the violet. It is definitely a powdery kind of violet. Think of Parma violet sweets, those chalky sweets, crush them up into a powder, snort them up your nose. And there's some woody facets, and different materials to create violet can have woody facets. So I think you got ironone alpha and ironone beta. One of them is more like a Parma violet, one of them gives a woody tone to the violet note. So how Freddie has created it, of course, I have no idea, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's used the ironone with the woody tone as part of the violet accord. Definitely musky. I can see this sort of gaining some of the sort of the leather and latexy notes later on, probably. I can feel almost like a suede sitting underneath the violet. And I would have guessed there might be iris in here, but it's not listed. So we've got milk and vanilla, but it could be a little milky as well, you know, but not. I don't expect to smell like milk. There's some perfumes have really strong milk or cream notes, and it's not one of those. This is, everything's very nicely, it's all very nicely blended together, I have to say. This is the kind of perfume that Sarah McCartney might put out. Quirky, fun, easy, eccentric. It is my favourite, definitely, boys. Mabel's tooth, wow, okay, Mabel's tooth is getting really rich. So that's actually getting creamy. That feels like a tub of, a big, well, not a whole tub, but let's say a big tablespoon of cream has been dropped into the mix now and mixed in. It's like, it's got really rich and creamy. Still feel like there's a slight animalic tone underneath it all, but without it being too much. Like, you're only going to notice it if you go like that. But if you're just wearing it in general, you know, it's more about this sort of aromatic, sweet, rich, slightly fruity yet creamy concoction. It's maybe a little rich for me. Now, it's a very wintry fragrance. Of course, it's got tobacco and coffee. I would say, yeah, if you love those kind of rich tobacco style fragrances, winter, very much a wintry fragrance to me. If you like that, I think you'll like that. This is very good. It's not quite my taste, but it's really good. Boys, way more my taste, because it is kind of gourmand but not too gourmand. It's interesting and it's gently changing on my skin, so I like that a lot more. What's it making me think of? It is making me think of not just Parma violets but other sweets, without it being a typical like department store aimed at young girls. You know, juicy. It's not like a juicy couture sickly sweet fragrance at all. It's like an adults only bag of Tempe mixed sweets with loads of Parma violets. Let's go back. I think we need to try Bernadette Margaret Evelyn Teresa on skin, because on paper it seems is not really doing justice to these perfumes. So just a little tiny spray. Whoa. Ooh, okay, that's different on my skin as well. That's almost like an incense. So that's completely different experience to what I got on the paper. It's like white floral incense and dry woods. It's like being at a spa. It's giving me sauna vibes, like is it sauna or steam room? And it's giving me aromatherapy vibes as well. It's like the really, you know, like the best aromatherapy oils. It's got a lovely blend of just different aromatherapy oils. But I'm also thinking of a steam room, or maybe no more a sauna, with maybe something like a eucalyptus. There's something slightly medicinal. And the apricot is definitely a noticeable thing here. Woodsy apricot, humidity. I think throw some water on something really hot so it goes vapor. These are much better on skin. If anyone tries these, please put them on your skin. They really come alive. These are really good. I'm really impressed. Let's have a little look at your comments, and then I really am going to have to go. Drawn by Sense is here. Hey, Drawn by Sense. Lucy says dirty and sweet sounds like a treat. Dirty and sweet is me after a day at work, says Brandon. Lizzie says, I've gotten so picky lately. Violet can hit and miss when chalky. I think I like it dark or fresh when it's paired with either green or leather or something. Liz says, raspberry tends to trump strawberry in perfume every time for me. And leather and latex is always promising. John says, does it smell like Woolworths pick and mix for adults? Where did we go here? Kind of, but adults, yeah, adults in suede jackets. Mabel likes it rich, dirty and sticky apparently, says Lizzie. Scott's here. Hey Claire, sorry I'm late. Hey Scott, nice to see you. Incense always has lasting power on me. Is that called spillage? I think you mean sillage, which is pronounced, it's pronounced sillage. It's spelt as if it says sillage, and that's the trail that you leave behind. So it's not the lasting power, it's not the projection. Projection is when how much it pushes off your skin. Sillage is if you walked out of the lift and someone walked in and they could still smell your perfume, then it's got good sillage. I think that's generally what it means. Sillage. Oh, spillage was a typo. Spillage is when you knock your perfume bottle over and it spills out everywhere. Right, I really have to go. I've got 4 minutes to get to Sam's house, so I've got to go. I am really impressed with these. If Freddie does watch this, good work. Love it, love it, love it. You've done brilliantly. I do urge you to try them if you can. Go on Freddie's website. I will link it later. I don't have time to do it now, but I'll link it later. If you've tried them, let me know. Leave a comment in the actual comments box. Let me know what you think. What's your favourite? And I thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all later.